The Young and the Restless Spoilers. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is a wild Wednesday here, and we have a ton of Genoa City drama to unpack today. Grab your coffee, maybe something stronger, because the writers are absolutely testing our sanity this week. Let's jump right into the madness. So look, I have been covering this show for a long time, and I have seen Phyllis Summers do some genuinely unhinged things. I mean, we all have, right? But this current storyline with Matt Clark, it is honestly pushing me to my absolute limit. I am sitting here staring at my screen, just rubbing my temples, trying to figure out what is going on in the writer's room. And let's be real, what is going on in Phyllis's head? Because right now she is making choices that are so toxic, so deeply messed up, that I don't even know how she comes back from this. And I guess Summer Newman feels the exact same way, because, oh boy, did we get a confrontation for the ages today. Let's set the scene. Summer Newman has been out of town, dealing with the absolute dumpster fire that is her company right now. We know Victor Newman has been pulling strings behind the scenes, targeting her business, targeting Sally Spectra's company, just creating chaos like he always does. Summer comes back to Genoa City, probably exhausted, probably just wanting a good meal and a stiff drink to wash away the corporate stress. She walks into society. You guys know society. It's always the same vibe. The soft lighting, the clinking of expensive wine glasses, Abby probably hovering somewhere in the background making sure the napkins are folded right. Summer just wants a moment of peace. But this is Genoa City. Peace does not exist here. And then she sees it. Across the dining room, that signature fiery red hair, it's her mother. It's Phyllis. At first, Summer is probably relieved, right? Like, oh good, my mom is here. Maybe we can talk. Maybe I can vent about my corporate nightmares and how Victor is trying to ruin everyone's lives. But then Summer looks at the man sitting across from Phyllis. She does a double take. She squints, and then her entire world just stops. Because the man sitting there holding a wine glass, leaning in close, getting all cozy and intimate with her mother, is Matt Clark. I need to pause here because I am just so angry on Summer's behalf. Matt Clark. Are you kidding me? The man who literally tortured Nick Newman. The man who lured Nick and Adam to that abandoned gas station in Las Vegas. The man who drugged Nick with fentanyl and cocaine, pushed him into a massive relapse, and left him for dead on a dirty floor while locking Adam in a storage room. Matt Clark is a monster. He is a psychopath. He has caused so much generational trauma for the Newman family, and specifically for Nick, who is currently spiraling out of control because of what Matt did to him. Nick is out there making death threats, terrifying Sharon, popping pills, and just completely losing his mind. And Phyllis is sitting there on a date with him? What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? So Summer doesn't even hesitate. She doesn't politely wave. She doesn't walk over and say hi. She marches. She literally stomps across the floor of society, and you can practically feel the heat radiating off of her. I loved this moment so much. I honestly cheered at my screen. Summer has had enough. She walks right up to their table, interrupts whatever sick, twisted romantic moment they were having, and just unleashes hell. She doesn't even say hello to her mother. She just looks at Matt with pure, unadulterated disgust. "What the hell is this?" she demands. And Phyllis, of course, goes into immediate defense mode. Phyllis jumps up, trying to keep her voice down, looking around to see who is watching because she knows exactly how bad this looks. Summer, calm down. It's not what it looks like. But Summer is not having it. She completely ignores her mother and goes straight for Matt. She starts insulting him, loud enough for half the restaurant to hear. She calls him a monster. She calls him a psychopath. She reminds him, and everyone in earshot, of exactly what he did to her father. She brings up the torture. She brings up Vegas. She brings up the fact that Nick almost died because of this man sitting there eating a premium steak. And this is where it gets so incredibly frustrating. Phyllis actually tries to defend him. I wanted to throw my remote at the TV, you guys. Phyllis grabs Summer's arm and says, Summer, listen to me. He's changed. He has amnesia. He doesn't remember any of that. Amnesia. Amnesia. Are we really doing this trope right now? Even if he does have amnesia, which I totally don't believe, by the way, Matt is absolutely faking it. He is playing everyone in this town like a fiddle that doesn't erase the fact that he almost killed Nick. Summer looks at her mother like she has grown two heads. And honestly, same. How can Phyllis, a woman who is usually so sharp, so cynical, so untrusting of everyone, suddenly buy into this convenient amnesia story from a known predator? Summer just snaps. She looks at Phyllis and screams, He tortured my dad. He is the reason Dad is struggling right now. Dad is out there fighting for his life, fighting his addiction, and you are sitting here drinking Pinot Noir with the man who did it? It was such a raw, emotional delivery. You could hear the pain in Summer's voice. She loves her dad. She knows Nick is in a really dark place right now. We all know Nick has been making death threats against Matt, telling Sharon that he wants to make Matt disappear permanently. Nick is a ticking time bomb of trauma and rage. And to see Phyllis, Nick's ex-wife, the mother of his child, cozying up to this abuser, it's a betrayal on a massive, unforgivable scale. And Matt? Oh, Matt is just sitting there, probably looking all confused and innocent, playing the amnesia card perfectly. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember being that person. Shut up, Matt. Just shut up. Nobody buys it. Sienna didn't buy it when he tried to pull this act at the Shadow Room. Noah didn't buy it when they got into that huge physical fight. And Summer definitely doesn't buy it. Summer tells him to shut his mouth and stop playing games. She is so fiercely protective of Nick in this moment, and it just highlights how completely out of touch Phyllis is right now. Summer is standing up for her dad in a way that Phyllis absolutely should be, but isn't. Then comes the big moment. The ultimatum. Summer turns back to Phyllis, and the anger kind of melts into this deep, heartbreaking disappointment. She looks her mother dead in the eye and lays it out plain and simple. You need to make a choice, Mom. Right now. You either walk away from this monster right this second and never speak to him again, or you and I are done. I will cut you out of my life. I will not have a relationship with a woman who sleeps with the man who tried to kill my father. Boom. Mic drop. I had chills, you guys. Summer did not stutter. She laid down the hardest boundary we have seen on this show in months. And you know she means it. Summer has put up with a lot of Phyllis's crap over the years. The fake deaths, the schemes, the Diane Jenkins obsession, the legal trouble with Christine and the AI evidence. Summer has always eventually forgiven her mother. Because that's what they do. They fight, they scream, and then they make up. Because Phyllis always says she does everything for her kids. But this is a bridge too far. This isn't just a quirky Phyllis scheme. This is aligning with a violent predator who hurt their family. So now Phyllis is trapped. And you can see the panic setting in. Phyllis is standing there, looking between Summer and Matt, and she is paralyzed. Why? Why is this even a hard choice? Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe Phyllis is running some kind of long con that we don't know about yet. Maybe she is trying to get close to Matt to get a confession out of him, or to use him against Victor. We know Victor offered Phyllis a deal she couldn't refuse regarding her company, and that fake AI evidence that almost sent Christine to prison. Maybe Matt is a pawn in her game to get her power back from the Newmans. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. Phyllis always has an angle. She always has a secret agenda. But even if it is a scheme, is it worth losing your daughter? Is it worth the psychological damage it's doing to Nick? The fans on social media are absolutely tearing Phyllis apart today. My timeline is just full of people saying Phyllis has finally crossed the point of no return. We have defended her for years. We have loved her messy, chaotic energy, But this is just gross. If she is doing this for revenge, it's selfish and reckless. If she is doing this because she actually has feelings for Matt, then she needs serious psychiatric help. There is no excuse good enough to justify sitting across from your ex-husband's torturer and holding his hand in a public restaurant. And think about what happens next. What happens when Nick finds out about this? Nick is already on the verge of a complete breakdown. He is using drugs again. He is having violent outbursts. He is terrifying everyone around him. If Nick finds out that Phyllis, the woman he has loved and fought with for decades, is dating Matt, it might actually kill him. It might push him right over the edge into a fatal overdose, or push him to actually pick up a weapon and hunt Matt down. The stakes are so incredibly high right now, and Phyllis is playing with fire while soaking herself in gasoline. Summer doesn't wait for an answer. She doesn't stand there crying or begging. She delivers her ultimatum, gives Matt one last look of absolute pure hatred, and she turns around and walks right out of society. She leaves Phyllis standing there in the middle of the restaurant, completely humiliated, forced to reckon with the consequences of her own toxic choices. It was a masterclass in soap opera drama, honestly. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. I am so tired, you guys. I am so tired of watching these characters make the worst possible decisions, but I also can't look away. I need to know what Phyllis is going to do. Will she chase after Summer? Will she realize that her daughter is more important than whatever twisted game she is playing with Matt? Or will she sit back down at that table, pick up her wine glass, and double down on her crazy? And where is Victor in all of this? Because you know Victor has spies everywhere, and the second he hears that Phyllis is cozying up to his little pet project, Matt Clark, Victor is going to use that to destroy her completely. Victor already has Matt living on the Newman Ranch to keep an eye on him, so he is going to be absolutely furious when he finds out Matt is out having romantic dinners with his sworn enemy. It's a massive web of lies and trauma, and Summer just walked right into the middle of it with a pair of scissors, ready to cut all the strings. We have to wait until next week to see the fallout, but let me tell you, I don't think the Phyllis and Summer relationship is going to survive this. And honestly, it shouldn't. Summer deserves better. Nick deserves better. We all deserve better than watching Matt Clark eat premium food while claiming he doesn't remember being a domestic terrorist. Anyway, I'm rambling now. My head is throbbing from trying to make sense of Phyllis's logic. I need to go lie down and process all of this before tomorrow's episode. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole mess. Is Phyllis playing a brilliant game of chess, or has she completely lost her mind and her morals? Do you think Summer will actually cut her off for good this time? And please, send some good vibes to Nick Newman, because that man is not going to survive this storyline if things keep escalating at this rate. I'll see you guys in the next update. Stay restless, and try not to let the Genoa City madness ruin your week.